Assalamu alaikum everyone again. This is a reteach, a revisit for lesson 8.4, transforming quadratic functions. I wanted to see the previous video about 8.3 and I want you to make sure that you got all the resources from the folder in the module. Okay, let's start with the first point here. I want you to remember the effect of A and the effect of C in the quadratic equation in the standard form. Here we go again. This is ax squared plus bx plus c. A, B, C. Here we're talking about the effect of A. If A is positive, then the parabola opens upward. If A is negative, then the parabola opens downward. It's going to be a reflection. If the absolute value of A is greater than 1, is less than 1, then it's going to be wider. In another term, it's lower than the usual. If the absolute value of A is greater than 1, then the parabola will be narrow, and that will be faster going than the x squared. Okay, don't mind this that much if you did not understand it, because in the next slide I will make sure you understand it 100% inshallah. I just want you to keep writing this, keep this in mind. The more you memorize this, or the better you understand this and memorize it, the better you do the exercises. So we're done with the A. Let's go and see the C. If the C is positive, we shift the graph up. If the C is negative, that's the shift of the graph down. I just need to ask you a question. And for now, we're talking about A and C. What about B? Ask yourself about B. What will happen? Now, here we will talk about something in Algebra 2. Inshallah, you will take it, how we can refactor and rechange the shape of the function. And that's a different story, inshallah, in grade 11. Let's start and see the next slide, inshallah. Okay, so here we go, and I want to remember that y in the standard form is this. A defines the open, upward or downward, and how wide is the function or the parabola. C is the shift. Is it upward or downward? Here's the parent function. As you see, A is 1, so it's open upward. When it's 1, this will be the size, and it's the parent function, as we said. C is 0. There's nothing added to the x squared, so the origin will be the vertex. Now, let's look at these equations. I want you to copy this table to your notebooks. Pause the video. Copy it on your notebook. And then let's test your understanding after you finish and you start the video again. Okay, for the first equation, we have A equals to 1. That means, since it's positive, we're going to have upwards. So the parabola will be open upwards, and that will be because of the A that is positive. Again, since A is 1, then there will be no change in the width. It will be exactly as wide as x squared. Let's go to the C. C is 4. It's greater than 0. Then the graph will be shifted upwards. So what will happen? We're going to have the same exact graph as x squared, but it shifted up to the 4. Keep going. For the second equation, A is -2. Since it's negative, it's going to be open downwards. And since it's greater than 1, it's going to be narrow. And C is 0. Going to be no change with the translation. So the vertex will stay 0, 0. Here we have 0.5. Since it's positive, it's going to be upwards. And since it's less than 1, it's going to be wider. Remember this. If it's less than 1, it's going to be wider. C is -4. It's less than 0, so it's going to be shifted down. For this, 5 is positive, so it's upwards. It's less than 1, so it's narrow. Sorry, it's greater than 1, so it's narrow. And the C is 12, greater than 0, so it's going to be shifted up. The last equation is -4/5. Whenever you have a fraction, okay, it's easy to say that it's negative, so it's downward. Now, is it greater than 1 or less than 1? Do the long division. Use the long division. All right? So the long division here, we have it as less than 1. Since it's less than 1, then it's wider. The C is -2/5. It's less than 0, so it's going to be shifted down. That's all for today. Check in the resources and find the reteach paper for 8.4. Solve it and send it, and inshallah I will put it for you in the assignment. You can solve it at any time you want. There will be no limit for the assignment, no due date. It's just for you to practice. Okay? And you will have the answer sheet as well with it. Along with it, just test your understanding, and you can send me any direct message or text me anytime if you have any question. See you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.